Makena loved the hum of the estate. It wasn't just the buzz of old wiring or the chatter of neighbors. It was the static, the invisible shield that drowned out the brainwave implants everyone carried. Born with one, like every kid in the sprawl and beyond, Makena had moved here at 13 when his mom decided she'd had enough of being tracked. The implants still hummed in your skull, sending encrypted nonsense if you'd hacked the firmware like Makena had. Outside, that scramble marked you as a ghost, anonymous and suspicious. Inside, it was just noise among noise. He sprawled on the roof of Tower 7, legs dangling over the edge, watching drones zip past the estate's perimeter. "You ever wonder what's out there?" he asked, voice bright despite the gray sky. Beside him, Joro fumed, sprawled flat on his back, mid-rant about how the cafeteria synth meat tasted like socks. "Out there? Same as in here, except they know your name and where you scratched your nose 5 minutes ago. Pass." Joro was Makena's shadow, loud, opinionated, and impossible to shut up once he got going. His implant wasn't even encrypted. He'd fried it years ago with a magnet and a prayer, said it made him feel authentically untraceable, whatever that meant. Makena grinned. "Yeah, but what if there's more? Like something big we're missing?" Joro snorted. "You're too chipper, man. World's a cage. Ours just has better graffiti." That's when Makena saw her, a girl, maybe 16 like him, slipping through the alley below. Outsiders didn't come here. Not unless they were lost. Or running. Makena's curiosity sparked like a live wire. "Joro, look, down there." Joro squinted, then smirked. "Trouble, let's go say hi." But Makena was already halfway down the ladder. He hit the ground running, Joro stumbling behind him, muttering about how this was a dumb idea. The girl was ahead, hood up, weaving through the estate backstreets like she knew where she was going. "Hey," Makena called, voice bouncing off the walls. She froze, then turned, eyes sharp under her hoodie, dark skin, short braids, a scar slicing her left eyebrow. No static, no hum. His implant buzzed faintly in his skull, searching for a signal that wasn't there. "You lost?" She didn't answer, just stared. Joro caught up, panting. "Smooth, Makena, real subtle. Hey lady, you got a name or are we guessing?" "Zara," she said finally, voice low. "And you're loud." Joro laughed. "Heard that before. I'm Joro. This ray of sunshine's Makena. You're not from here, are you?" Her eyes flicked between them. "No. Passing through." Makena tilted his head. "No one passes through the estate. You're either in or out. And you're not pinging." "How?" Zara's lips twitched, almost a smile. "Maybe I'm a ghost." "Ghosts don't smell like engine grease," Joro shot back, sniffing the air dramatically. "You're from the sprawl. What's a no signal like you doing here?" She hesitated, then pulled back her hoodie. A faint scar ran along the left side of her forehead. No implant ridge, no tech bulge. Cut it out when I was a kid. Hurts like hell, but it works. Makena's eyes widened. "That's illegal, and insane. How'd you even— Long story," she cut in. "I need to hide. You gonna rat me out or help?" Joro crossed his arms. "Depends. What's in it for us?" "Joro!" Makena elbowed him. "She's got no signal, man. That's rare." "Cool, even. We should help." Zara raised an eyebrow. "Cool?" "You're weird," she muttered. "Says the girl with a hole where her brain tracker should be," Joro retorted. Makena ignored him, grinning. "Why are you hiding?" "Someone's after me," she said. "Outside, I stick out without the implant. Here, I blend in. Mostly. But I need to lay low. You know a spot?" Makena nodded. "Yeah. Follow us." Makena led Zara and Joro to the basement of Tower 9, a forgotten maintenance hub buried under layers of dust and broken pipes. Rusted lockers lined the walls and a flickering bulb cast jagged shadows. Makena kicked an old crate into the center. "Home sweet hideout. No one comes down here." Zara scanned the room, then nodded. "It'll do." She dropped her hood, shaking out her braids, and sat on the crate. "Thanks." Joro flopped onto a pile of rags, arms behind his head. "So Zara, no signal. Who's chasing you? Cops, corp goons, crazy ex with a drone?" She smirked faintly. "Worse. People who don't like questions." Makena perched on a busted chair, leaning forward. "What kind of questions?" "The kind that get you hunted," she said. "I grew up in the sprawl, wired like everyone else, implant tracking every move, every thought pattern. Then I started noticing glitches, times I'd blank out, wake up somewhere else. No memory, no record. Like the implant was lying." Joro frowned. "Implants don't lie, they're just tech." "Tech can be hacked," she countered. or programmed. I dug into it, literally. Cut mine out, started asking around, found others with the same gaps. Someone's messing with us, and they don't want us knowing. Makena's optimism flickered into something sharper, excitement. You think it's a conspiracy? Like big shadowy overlords? Maybe, Zara said. Or maybe it's just broken tech and paranoia. Either way, that's when the system noticed. Now drones are locked on me wherever I go. Joro snorted. Great. So we're harboring a fugitive with a knack for trouble. Makena, this is your fault. My fault? Makena laughed. You're the one who said, let's go say hi! Yes, yeah, and now we're in a basement with Miss Mystery, Joro teased. What's next? We storm the sprawl and demand answers? Zara's eyes glittered. Not yet. I need to figure out what they're hiding first. Makena's mind raced. We could help. I've got a hacked implant, encrypted, not fried like Joro's. Maybe we can use it. Poke around the system. Zara studied him. You're too eager. Why? 'Cause he's a nutcase who thinks the world's a puzzle, Joro grinned at Zara. She didn't smile back, but something softened in her gaze. Makena couldn't sleep that night. He'd always thought the tech was a leash, tracking, controlling, but what if it was more? What if it was rewriting people? He rolled over, staring at the faint glow of his hacked implant's diagnostic light, a tiny pulse under his wrist. Time to test it. By morning, he dragged Joro and Zara to his makeshift workshop, a corner of the basement cluttered with scavenged tech. If your implant was glitching, he told Zara, mine just might too. We just need to listen. Joro, nursing a cup of stale tea, groaned. Listen? It's a brain tracker, not a radio. You're gonna fry yourself, and I'm not carrying you to the med bay. Relax, Makena said, plugging a jerry-rigged scanner into his wrist port. I've done this before. Well, kinda. Zara watched, arms crossed. What's the plan? Unscramble my encrypted signal, see what's hiding in the data. He tapped a sequence into the scanner, and his implant buzzed, sharp like a wasp in his skull. The screen flickered, spitting out encrypted noise. Then, a pattern. Not his ID, not his location. Something else. A loop of static with jagged spikes. Joro leaned over. That's weird. Looks more like a broadcast, not a tracker. Zara's eyes narrowed. Let me see. She studied the screen. That's what I saw. Before I cut mine out. It's not just tracking, there's too much information being sent. Sending what? Makena asked, heart pounding. No idea, Zara said. Whatever it is, it has its own encryption too. And it's not us controlling it. Makena unplugged, rubbing his wrist. So someone's broadcasting stuff from our heads? That's nuts. Nuts and creepy, Joro said. What's next? We're all puppets? Zara shook her head. Not puppets. Test subjects, maybe. I heard rumors, experiments in the sprawl. Brainwave tech wasn't just for tracking. It was for shaping. Makena's optimism twisted into determination. Shaping what? I say we crack it. Figure out what they're sending and why. Zara nodded. Yeah. But we need more than your toy scanner. We need to tap the source. Outside the estate. Makena's grin widened. Road trip? Not funny, Joro muttered. We leave, we're marked. Game over. But Makena was already dreaming of answers, humming just beyond the static. Leaving the estate wasn't simple. Makena's encrypted signal would flag him as a ghost the second he crossed the perimeter. Traceable but glaringly anonymous. Joro's fried implant was a dead spot, equally suspicious. Zara, with no implant, was also a walking anomaly. They'd stick out like neon in the sprawl's gray sea of tracked citizens. Still, Makena's optimism burned bright. We'll blend in, he said, tossing Joro a patched jacket. Act normal. Normal, Joro scoffed, pulling it on. We're a hacked geek, a signal corpse, and a no-tech runaway. We're a circus. Zara smirked, adjusting her hood. He's not wrong. But I know a way. Smuggler path skirts the drones, used it to get here. They slipped out at dusk, the estate's hum fading as they crossed into the sprawl. The air felt thinner, sharper, alive with invisible signals. Makena's implant buzzed faintly, a reminder of the grid locking onto him. He ignored it, following Zara through alleys and underpasses, Joro grumbling the whole way. The sprawl was a beast. Towers of glass and steel, screens flashing ads, drones humming overhead. Everyone moved as if in sync, heads down, implants pinging in perfect rhythm. Makena felt the weight of it, the system pressing in. How do they stand it? He muttered. They don't notice, Zara said. It's all they know. She led them to a derelict warehouse, its walls patched with signal-dampening foil. Inside, a tangle of wires and screens glowed faintly. Safe house, she explained. Used by runners like me. We can tap the grid here. Makena plugged his scanner into a console, hands shaking with excitement. Whatever it is they're sending, we'll catch them. The screen lit up, a flood of data streaming from his implant. Static. Spikes. Then finally, words appeared.
Subject 1476913. Mental load average. Emotional buffer cache high. Signal tower not found. Retrying.
It cut off, looping back to noise. Joro stared. What the hell? Makes sense, Zara said. Since we are shielded from transmission here, at least we know what it is transmitting about you. But we still need more information. Makena's mind spun. But why all this data? What's the point? Power, Zara said. Or something bigger. Joro rubbed his face. So we're lab rats, great, now what? We find the source, Makena said, grinning despite the dread. Figure out more. Curiosity's gonna kill us, Joro muttered. Zara nodded. Maybe. But I'm in. The warehouse became their war room. Makena hunched over the console, decoding signal fragments, while Zara mapped the sprawl's grid and Joro complained about the lack of food. His data was a mess, encrypted logs buried in noise, timestamps stretching back years. They've been at this forever, Makena said, eyes bleary. There's a pattern. But most of it seemed to be decrypted and then re-encrypted at each transmission point for integrity checks. Zara traced a line on her map. Then we go to the broadcast hubs. There's one nearby, old comms tower. If we hack it, we might be able to read the full signal. Joro groaned. More sneaking? My legs hate you both. They moved at midnight, cloaked in the sprawl's shadows. The tower loomed ahead, a skeletal relic bristling with antennas. Zara jimmied the door and they climbed, Makena's heart racing with every creak. At the top, a control panel blinked, alive with data. He plugged in and the screen erupted, raw signal, unfiltered. It wasn't commands, it was entire records. Zara and Joro crowded behind him, eyes wide.
Subject 1476913. Emotional trigger detected. Self-adjustment. Cognitive behavioral adaptation. Clear.
Makena whispered. They're not controlling us at all. They're just observing us, logging our responses to events. Like we're in a show. Joro blinked. A show? What, like a game show? No, Zara said, scanning the data. Real reality. They're observing to see how we react. Sadness, setbacks, love, real responses to real triggers. Makena chuckled quietly. That's insane. Why? Doesn't say, Zara muttered. But look, there's a master node. Coordinates. It's running the whole thing. Joro slumped against the wall. So our lives are just a big experiment? Every fight, every dumb crush, just data? Maybe, Makena said, grinning despite the madness. But we're breaking the rules now. We know. Zara's eyes gleamed. We hit the node, end the experiment. Or blow it up, Joro added. I vote explosions. The coordinates led to a squat, unmarked building on the sprawl's edge, ringed by drones and floodlights. Makena, Zara, and Joro crouched in a ditch nearby, watching. That's it, Zara whispered. The node. Controls the whole grid. Joro squinted. Looks like a fortress. We're toast. Makena grinned. Not if we're smart. Zara, you said smugglers use signal jammers. Got one? She pulled a dented box from her pack. Short range. Might get us past the drones. Inside, the building was sterile. White walls, humming servers, no guards. Too easy. They found the core, a glowing cylinder pulsing with data, wired to a console. Makena plugged in, hands steady. The screen flared. Millions of brainwave IDs, live feeds of thoughts, emotions, lives. It's everyone, he breathed. The whole sprawl. They're all in here. Zara scanned the data. Look, log records. Decades of it. We're not even the first batch. Joro cursed. So what are we? Hamsters and wheels? More like actors, Makena said, scrolling. They observe silently. Watch us play it out. But here's the kicker. Look, the system's AI. Self-running. No one's in charge. Zara froze. Wait, an AI? That's absurd, Makena finished, laughing. Whoever did this built a god to mess with us and then forgot about it. Joro kicked the console. So we kill it, pull the plug. No, Makena said, eyes bright. We rewrite it. Make it ours. Zara nodded. Can you? Maybe. He typed furiously, rerouting commands. The cylinder pulsed faster, then slowed. I'm feeding it junk. Our junk. Estate static, everything non-sprawl. If it wants to record, let it record chaos. The screen glitched, IDs flickering. Outside, drones wobbled, crashing. The sprawl's rhythm broke. People started to look up, confused. Free. You broke their toy, Joro gasped. Nope, Makena said. I gave it a soul. Our soul. Zara smirked. Poetic. Now let's go before it reboots. They ran as the node started humming again behind them. A new song. Theirs. Makena felt the world shift. Not just an experiment now, but something alive, unpredictable, and gloriously messed up. He didn't know what came next, but that was the point. The world was a puzzle, and they'd just kicked their pieces of it everywhere. As the sun rose, painting the sprawl gold, Makena felt the static in his skull settle. Not gone, just different. Profoundly different. Back at the node, as the core rebooted to a different hum, its console lit up, and a string of readouts scrolled from a command line.
Shard 778316532. Sector 557093. Instance 782. Reboot complete. System initiation. Compiling new inputs. Intervention successful. Incoming data optimal for shaping universal entropic solution. Random feedback loop requirement removed. All is good.